Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. Therefore submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. James chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. I recently read the following article in which the author discusses what one should do when things go wrong, and even before the crisis strikes. As a motorist, I have been very fortunate indeed. In 29 years of driving, I have only had one accident, and I have never yet been stuck on the road. But once I did run into trouble. Late at night, when I was on my way home, a fault developed in the electrical system of my car. I knew that sooner or later the car would come to a dead stop, and nothing except a tow truck would move it. I have been a member of the Automobile Association for as long as I have been driving. I have always paid my subscription. I have always used the handbooks and the route books and all the helps to traveling. But in all those years, I have never had any occasion to call for help from the breakdown service. Then I needed it. I could call on it. I got it. There is here a remarkably close parallel to what happens in life. For long enough, life can go on smoothly with an easy routine in which nothing happens with which we cannot deal. The road is pleasantly level. There may be no relaxation, but there is no effort which is beyond us. There may be no great joys, but there are no great sorrows. There may be no great flashes of vision, but there are no agonizing struggles with evil. We can cope. Then, quite suddenly, life falls in. There comes a demand for an effort which we know quite well is beyond us. There comes a temptation which we know we cannot struggle against. There comes an illness or a breakdown which lays us low. There comes a sorrow in which the sun sets at midday and in which life becomes unbearable. In that moment, we turn to God because, as Lincoln said, there is nowhere else to go. But it will make all the difference in that moment, first, if we know where to go, and second, if through all the years we have kept our contact with God, and if we are going not to a stranger, but to a familiar friend. In other words, the better we know God, the easier it is to go to Him when we need Him so desperately. The more closely we have kept our contact with Him, the easier it is to find Him. What about you today? Are you maintaining a close personal connection with God? Do you speak to Him multiple times daily through prayer? Do you actively listen when He speaks to you through His Word? Why not renew your relationship with Him today? Do not wait until you find yourself in the midst of a crisis to determine the value of your relationship with God. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
So many falling by the wayside, Lord help me to stand. So many falling by the wayside, Lord help me to stand. So many falling by the wayside, Lord help me to stand. Help me to run this race, help me to stand, help me to stand. Preachers falling by the wayside, Lord help me to stand. Preachers falling by the wayside, Lord help me to stand. Preachers falling by the wayside,